Hello and welcome to another sound experiment. This batch started with me wanting to continue to explore Rample's 4-voice polyphony. So Rample can be a 4-voice polyphonic synth if you put a sample on each channel and set it to chord mode. So for this one, I decided to take a Gamelan strip from Morfbeats, record a note, bring it back in the computer, and my goal was to multiply it by 4, like copy paste 4 times, put different effects on each voice, and stretch it to make swells. So after putting it in the computer, I did not like the sound, so I decided to chop off the beginning of the sound file and only use the small tail. So this is what I used. And so I took this tail and copy pasted it 4 times for the 4 voices of Rample and put different effects on it. So the first one I put sketch cassette to add some hiss, some fragility to the sound, and wobble in the pitch. On the second one I use the pusher plugin by UBK or Kush Audio, and this is some sort of special overdrive. The third one I simply used warp in Ableton and played with the settings until I had something special. And for the last one, I used the Culture Vulture overdrive. So I took these 4 samples, put them into Rample. So this became my synth, and so I started playing around with Cunexus to make something. And so the first thing I decided to do is use Cunexus CV out to send the same pitch information to Plaits. So I tuned the Plaits to the same note as the Gamelan strips because the Gamelan was not a C. And I put Plaits into Databender and put Databender completely wet so that the melody from the Gamelan strips would be doubled by Plaits, but only as effects in the stereo field. So after doing this for a while, I figured I was missing some kind of pulse. So I decided to use Zadar with a very short envelope to make a kick sound. So this went directly into my mixer. But then I decided to clock Databender with it also. So Zadar went into Malt, Malt went to the mixer, and also to Databender's clock, so that the effects by Plaits would be in sync with what I'm doing. And after playing it around with the sounds a bit more, I figured was missing some type of bass line, but I don't have any more synth voice modules, so I decided to use Oct at audio rate. So you put the CV at maximum, so it becomes like some sort of sine wave. And I put this through the distortion and then into a filter. And so I tuned this note so that it would fit with the key that I was playing in. And to add some movement, I decided to send another channel from Zadar to Oct CV so that the bass would move around. This is what you hear at the end of the piece, and it also happens throughout. So the bass is like going in and out, and it's a bit random because the envelope I chose in Zadar is like pretty random. So this is what I used to make this piece, and all this finally went into the Autobam and then into the computer, and I used the Massive Passive and the API 2500 plugins to bring it up to a nice level with a nicer EQ. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. And I think this is maybe a good time to tell you that I do have a Patreon if you'd like to help me out. I have an Instagram where I post almost every day. And I have all my gear lists on my website if you're curious about what microphones I use or what modules I use or what drums I use. And if ever you'd like to work with me, you can contact me via my website if you need drum tracks or synth tracks or anything music related. So that's it. Thank you.